What's going on? It's your man DJ Hot down in the Lions there with some more of that season and that sauce for your soul. You get your life together.
Oh yeah.
That oh yeah was late. Late.
Hey, it's late, but it's on time.
What's your new name?
Oh, it's D-Real, you know.
You gotta say that with a little bit more enthuse.
What you mean?
Because if you gonna say it like that, I am D-Real.
No, it's D-Real, you know. From the, you know, coming with the realness, you know.
The realness.
Yeah, the realness. You know, just keeping it 100% authentic, you know. That's
100%.
That's it, you know.
What's good, people? What we got today?
We got a few things. We got a few topics.
Let's go.
You want to talk about Oppenheimer?
What you want to know?
Okay, so deja vu.
Mm-hmm.
So Oppenheimer, you know your boy.
Mm-hmm.
He
Christopher Nolan
dropped
a nice
one. What do you think? What would you rank it?
The movie was great. It was beautiful.
Out of Christopher Nolan films, what would you say? What would you rank it? Because you being a huge fan of his work.
That's a good question. I didn't even think about that.
Exactly. You got some heavy hitters. You have Inception. You have your favorite,
Wow.
your designated #1 film.
Don't hate.
Interstellar.
One of the best movies known to man.
That soundtrack was amazing.
Absolutely.
You have Interstellar. You have Inception. Oh, and don't get me started. You have the Dark Knight trilogy. Straight masterpiece.
Not finna put no ranking on it. I wouldn't do myself like that.
Okay, so you can't think of where you would place any of these films? I mean, where you could place this film amongst those?
Well, Oppenheimer was great. It's top 5.
Oh, top 5. So
Yeah,
it is pushing.
excellent.
Okay.
But it wasn't an action film.
True.
So I don't even know how do you rate that. You don't even put up against Dark Knight.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? Like, and then Interstellar took you somewhere that made you use your brain. For some people that said the movie was stupid, we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, we might have to leave
But
that.
how do you compare it? Seriously, that's
Yeah,
like
no, I
comparing.
agree.
You know, that's like comparing Hove to Drake. One make you use your brain, and one is for entertainment. I'm just kidding.
Fair enough.
Seriously, you
No,
don't
fair
really
enough.
compare
Yeah,
that.
yeah, that is like apples and oranges, right? Like it's all connected. It's more like a continuation of his work. Like,
Yeah.
how can you? It's Batman, right? Versus a true story about Oppenheimer, a man who created the first atomic bomb.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like the movie was a masterpiece. I feel like I think you were saying this when we talked about it. It's like 3 stories in one movie.
Yeah.
It's a story about a genius who was an innovator and one of the only people who could do this, and also was about a man who had ultimately people betray him, people that he trusted.
Mm-hmm. Oh, spoilers ahead. If y'all haven't seen the movie, you probably should check it out.
Yeah.
And then come back.
True. And then you just have a person, the perspective of him living his life, and you know the trials and tribulations that come with that.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it was a masterpiece. So, in just thinking about the movie and thinking about, of course, spoiler, but obviously the end result, him creating that atomic bomb,
Clean blue blow.
and then him having to deal with the
Aftermath.
his conscious.
Got a hotline.
My bad. Him thinking his conscious of creating like such a dangerous weapon and handing it over to
Yeah.
men of war and saying, you
Exactly.
know, like, how do you feel about that? If you know that scenario, you think is that like using your talents like that, and then it's creating something that the world has never seen that can cause such great mass destruction.
Well, that got ups and downs. You know, as we all know, is you get demerits and you get points for the same thing. But some things must happen, because if you go back to that time and you know the day, that was just Japan just happened to be the lucky people when we created it to be used upon, and it was from the aftermath of what happened in Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
They didn't know that, that's like if you try to jump somebody and find out he a black belt in Taekwondo.
Yeah.
They didn't know that. They didn't know that they had this WMD.
Yeah.
That's just a messed up situation. Because if it would just been it would been a firefight if they would never had the weapon. But hey, somebody got sucker punched, and you do.
Yeah, that's just like it's just a sad situation, But like, what can you do, like, in a situation like that? But even I got a deeper question for you. If you had a talent or a gift and you knew that the world would try to use that for evil, would you keep it to yourself?
That's a good question.
Okay.
I can't really answer that. Circumstances, what are you sacrificing? What are they using it for? Because you say evil, but then some people can find a greater good in evil. And then just like I don't know. But of course, the correct answer is going to be no.
Right.
But
you would keep it to yourself?
You would try to and see if I can do it myself.
Okay.
But you find out you made a machine and they take it and go back and erase your granddaddy. I'm just saying.
Yeah. You just never know the concept.
Just never know.
Right.
But they say, it can be anything.
Right.
The person who created the French fry didn't know they was finna create obesity like crazy. But that's evil.
That type of evil done came for us all.
Chili cheese fries out cold. You feel me?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. It's like, because on one end, if you were to keep your gifts and talents to yourself, you would be playing small for the world. And that can be against your higher calling.
Exactly.
So that's, I don't know, that's something tough to juggle with. That's a question for y'all. What would you do? Can you answer that question in the comments? What would you do if you had a talent that you feel like the world would try to exploit? Would you keep it to yourself, or would you still do what you feel like you were called to do and just go from there?
Let's keep it real. They about to give you $1 billion check. Come on now. He goes, hey, take it. Oh, don't forget, I got some more pieces over here to go with that too.
Yeah, but that movie was a masterpiece.
Absolutely.
And
it ain't for the faint though.
It's not.
It was 3 hours. So a lot of people be like, what's going on here? This is trash. You know how some people do. That's why you can't go to the show.
Yeah, it's a lot of jargon in that movie.
Yeah.
A lot of history, a lot of things you might not understand. You might have to go back to the dictionaries.
That's a fact.
But yeah, it was A1. Got some more stuff for you.
What you got?
Did you hear about the Jamie Foxx and Jennifer Aniston situation?
No, sir. What happened?
So it was the situation where I don't want to misquote him, but he'd been going through a lot. He was in the hospital, and he was trying to recover.
Is that really Jamie out, or is that a clone?
Don't.
I'm just asking.
That's what the internet was saying. Don't do that.
I'm just saying.
We're not doing Jamie like that.
Okay, I hope not. His forehead did look real small.
Oh my God, this guy.
He got to do Wanda. If he do Wanda, that's Jamie.
Oh man. All right. So what happened was, so he put a tweet or an Instagram post out saying that he said, if they came for Jesus, came for Jesus or killed Jesus. I'm not sure exactly which one he said. They will come for you.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, the internet had some mixed feelings. However, what really ignited it was Jennifer Aniston, you know, from Friends,
Yeah.
you know.
Regular.
Yeah, she came out and she said that she won't stand for anti-Semitism and basically implied that he was perpetuating anti-Semitism by making a statement. And the internet pretty much went in on her. They said that it was a cultural disconnect. She wasn't aware. She basically, that's a common phrase, and they were basically trying to say you barking up the wrong tree here.
It's a true phrase though.
Yeah.
If they crucified Jesus, they'd crucify anybody.
And that's not a statement that's pointed at any specific group.
The statement is defined by, if they crucified the Messiah, nobody will agree. God's green earth is exempt to get crucified.
Right.
Exactly.
That's basically the statement. And yeah, she basically went for him, and the internet tried to correct her, and yeah, she had to disable her comments. But I don't know. It just speaks to a bigger question when we go to like, what is like the bar when it comes to calling out somebody behavior and like policing each other? Like, what is that? Like, what do you feel like?
That's a part of this new age social media.
Do you feel like anybody should be able to police anybody? Like,
people can say whatever they feel like they want to say, but the problem is you only give them power when you pay attention.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of these organizations that keeps people monetized, they do pay attention. Like, so, I'm not saying this specific incident, but say if someone you put something out on your Instagram and someone said, "Hey,
I love America."
Well, anything, and somebody say, just because you like yours, you say this,
yeah,
it's anti this, or is, you know, or you're supporting this, and then you got the people who keep you paid come at you and try to discontinue them funds. Like,
well, honestly, I would hope the people that keep me paid would have a brain, for one. That's the only thing I can do, because people always want to have something to say about you and your actions. It's never going to be, we don't live in a peachy world where you got 100 yeses. Right. You know, that's just, it's always going to feel people, you know, it's people that think they're cats.
Do you think it is a certain responsibility on people who does have like a large following? Like, say if you got 10 million followers on Instagram, do you feel like that you automatically have a responsibility to
stay grounded
or even be politically correct? Or do you feel like you should be able to do whatever you want because you got your followers your way, whatever?
Well, I feel like you should be able to do whatever and say whatever you feel, but I feel like the world should know what's right or what's wrong, and I feel like we are at a fallen state because somebody, you know, today down is up and up is down, and people is monetizing off of that, and they capitalizing on top of that. So I blame the sheep for being fools.
And that's a tough thing, right? Because
that's just,
what do you do in a world where, I'm just saying, like, modern age, where it's so many people with large voices and they can point to you and say, "Hey, you did this, you did this," and then you have a whole swarm of people like that's like, "Oh, he's wrong," and then jumping on the bandwagon of maybe demonizing you. Like, where's the teachable learning moment when it comes down to like just straight up attacking each other? And then since we all got followings, you have a group of people that's listening to, you know, something listening, and yeah, we'll continue to demonize you or demonize the next person just because of that. Like,
that's this world we live in. They nuts. Well, what y'all think? Put it in the comments. It's been real talk down in the Lions Den with D Lions over there.
Oh yeah.
Look at him over there. You see his waves banging.
Oh yeah, I try to keep him right.
Oh yeah. And your man DJ Huss. We out.